Hello everyone. Welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to share with you our focus on Mega Goal 2.1. Today, we'll be exploring Unit 6, Going Green. We'll discuss what it means to adopt eco-friendly practices and how we can all contribute to a healthier planet. So, let's get started and dive into this important topic together. Let's take a look at the key objectives for today's lesson. First, we'll discuss the main ideas of living off the grid, exploring what it really means. Then, we'll deduce some important concepts by analyzing the passage together. We'll also describe the new words introduced, making sure we understand their meanings clearly. Next, we'll look at the pictures carefully and correctly, helping us visualize the ideas. We'll answer questions about the passage to check our comprehension. Additionally, we'll focus on finding specific information within the text to deepen our understanding. Overall, these objectives will guide us through a thorough and engaging exploration of the topic, connecting everything back to the idea of living independently from the main power and utility systems. Now, let's take a closer look at these images. First, we have a picture of tomatoes. This represents one of the many crops that can benefit from sustainable farming practices and efficient water use. Next, there's a house equipped with solar energy panels. This shows how homes can harness renewable energy sources to reduce reliance on fossil fuels and lower energy costs. The third image is a windmill, which illustrates wind power, another clean and renewable energy source that can generate electricity without pollution. So, what does each picture show? The tomatoes highlight agriculture and food sustainability. The solar panels demonstrate renewable energy at the household level, and the windmill emphasizes large-scale renewable energy generation. Now about the structure of this slide. There are 8 key points, but we've organized them across 7 images, each illustrating a different aspect of renewable energy and sustainability. And finally, the title of this slide is about understanding how various renewable sources and sustainable practices come together to create a more environmentally friendly future. This ties back to our overall theme of exploring how different technologies and strategies can help us protect our planet while meeting our needs. Let's take a moment to understand the strategy behind long sentences. Now, what are 2 main reasons that people decide to live off the grid? First, some choose this lifestyle to seek independence and self-sufficiency, wanting to break free from the constraints of traditional society. Second, others are motivated by a desire to connect more closely with nature and reduce their environmental impact. Now, who exactly are these people? They're individuals or families who have made a conscious decision to live outside the mainstream infrastructure, often embracing sustainable and minimalist living. Understanding their motivations helps us see how their values align with the broader themes of sustainability and personal freedom that we've been discussing. So, what does it really mean to live off the grid? Well, at its core, living off the grid means you're choosing to be independent from the traditional public utilities and infrastructure. You're not relying on the electric company, the water supply, or other city services. Instead, you generate your own power, often through solar panels or wind turbines, collect and treat your own water, and manage waste on your own. It's about creating a self-sufficient lifestyle. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is the grid? The grid is essentially the vast network of power lines, pipelines, and communication systems that deliver electricity, water, and other essential services to homes and businesses. It's the backbone of modern infrastructure, connecting us all to centralized resources. Understanding this helps us see why living off the grid is such a significant lifestyle choice. It's about independence, sustainability, and sometimes even resilience against disruptions in these centralized systems. Throughout this presentation, we're exploring how this way of living connects to broader themes like environmental impact, personal freedom, and technological innovation. Let's take a closer look at how a windmill produces electricity. The windmill itself is a fascinating machine, and the part that moves is really the key component. When the wind blows, it causes the blades of the windmill to turn. Now, what are these blades exactly? They are the large, flat parts attached to the windmill's hub. Think of them as the sails that catch the wind and set everything in motion. There are typically 3 blades, which helps the windmill rotate smoothly and efficiently. As these blades turn, they transfer that motion to a generator inside the windmill. This is where mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. So, essentially, the blades are the initial step in transforming wind energy into usable electricity. Understanding this process helps us see how renewable energy sources like wind power work in real life. Now, let's take a closer look at Wendy Johnson's children. First, you'll notice the pronoun they in this context, so who does they refer to? It's important to understand that they here is used to refer to Wendy's children collectively, emphasizing their identity and the bond she shares with them. Next, Wendy has 2 main hopes or desires for her children. The first is that she wants them to be happy. This is a universal wish, but it's especially meaningful because it shows her focus on their well-being beyond just academic or career success. The second is that she wants them to be confident. She desires her children to feel secure in who they are and to approach life with self-assurance. These wishes highlight the overall theme of nurturing and supporting her children to grow into well-rounded individuals. So, understanding her hopes helps us see the kind of parent Wendy aspires to be, one who prioritizes happiness and confidence in her children's lives. So, let's talk about the idea of comparing things. It's not just about saying one is better than the other, but understanding that one thing can be much better or more suitable depending on the context. When we ask what can't be matched means, we're really highlighting something that's so unique or valuable that nothing else can compare to it. It's about recognizing exceptional qualities. Now, moving on to the decision to live off the grid, this is a significant choice. It's about opting out of conventional systems, like public utilities and infrastructure, to live independently. This decision often stems from a desire for self-sufficiency, privacy, or a commitment to environmental sustainability. And what is the bold choice referred to here? It's that decision to go off the grid, taking a risk, stepping away from comfort zones, and embracing a lifestyle that's more self-reliant. It's a daring move, but one that aligns with the themes of independence and making deliberate, impactful choices. All of these points tie back to our overall theme, making mindful, courageous decisions that shape how we live and connect with the world around us. Let's talk about some of the essential resources that keep our lives running smoothly: electricity, natural gas, and water. These are part of a linked system that supplies most homes and buildings in developed countries. It's a complex network, but the key idea is that we rely heavily on these resources for our daily needs. For example, when the wind blows, windmills turn, and this movement generates energy. That energy is then converted into electricity by a generator, providing a renewable and sustainable power source. This highlights the importance of alternative energy sources and our growing concern for the environment. It also ties into a desire for self-reliance, being able to produce some of our own energy and resources rather than depending entirely on external systems. Speaking of self-reliance, many people are turning to private wells or cisterns to collect rainwater. This way, they can ensure a clean water supply for their homes and gardens. Additionally, growing your own fruits and vegetables and raising animals for food is another way to become more self-sufficient. It's about taking control of your resources, reducing reliance on external systems, and living more sustainably. All these aspects, energy, water, and food, are interconnected and crucial for building resilient, self-sufficient communities. They remind us that by understanding and managing our resources wisely, we can help protect the environment while also securing our own well-being. No, it's difficult to all. If there's no rain, it impacts many aspects of our lives. For instance, rainwater is essential for washing and cleaning, and without it, those activities become more challenging. Additionally, a lack of rain can affect our respiratory system, especially during the rainy days when dust and dryness increase. We also rely on firewood for cooking, which can become scarce during dry periods. Interestingly, Reduced rainfall and cloudy days can actually help us save electricity because we tend to use less lighting and cooling. This is where solar panels come into play, especially on cloudy days, as they can still generate light-charging energy, supporting our electricity needs sustainably. Overall, these points highlight how weather patterns directly influence daily routines and resource management, emphasizing the importance of adapting to these changes for a more sustainable future. Let's take a look at the final slide, which focuses on the workbook page, specifically page 279, and the exercise labeled as this slide is all about reinforcing what we've learned through some practical application. You'll notice that this is also your homework assignment, so it's a great opportunity to apply the concepts we've discussed today. The key points here are to thoroughly understand the material and to approach the exercise in a conversational way, almost as if you're explaining it to someone else. As you work through this, remember to highlight the most important concepts. These are the core ideas that will help you grasp the overall theme of the presentation. Connecting these points to the bigger picture will make your understanding much stronger. So I encourage you to engage with the exercise actively, think critically, and see it as a chance to solidify your learning. This practice isn't just about completing the task, it's about internalizing the concepts so they become second nature. Good luck, and I look forward to seeing how you apply what we've covered today.